First stage is going to be really easy. Then we'll do another video on the second stage regulator, on the install of that. What the ultimate goal is to have more consistent shot strings and everything, and have a regulator that's very consistent. One of the problems with the standard FX regulator is it is known to have some creep, some consistency issues time to time, and to help mitigate that, you need a high quality regulator, and that's where Huma Air comes along, and they are the experts, and they're, in my opinion, the industry leader when it comes to air gun regulation. And that's why we're going to go ahead and install that, because I'm in the pursuit of accuracy. I want this as accurate as possible. I'm trying to prep this gun because I'd like to go to RMAC next year and actually compete, and I want to get this gun lined out, that way I can compete in some of the national matches and stuff. And that's where Huma Air products is, I think, going to be a key factor in getting this gun lined out, where we have consistent shots and can eliminate any unwanted like unnecessary creep, any unnecessary inconsistencies, and it'll help tune this gun to a higher and finer degree. So that's what we're going to go with. Show you what they sent me. They sent me their first stage regulator, and they sent me their second stage regulator for the impact, and it does have some bell washers and stuff in here on the second stage reg. It's a little more involved installing this, and we'll go over that. I'm going to set it to the side because today we're going to focus on this right here, and we're going to show you exactly how to install this. This is a high quality product, and machine and engineered to the highest tolerances. And this is what we're going to actually replace our first reg with. This is going to be our new first regulator, and that's what I'm going to show you today. We're going to go ahead and spin the camera around. I'm going to go ahead and give you all the details about this, how it can be adjusted. It does come preset. This particular one, they did preset it for me at 160 bar, which is actually what this gun is already set at. For the first stage regulator. The second stage is actually set at 95 bar. And for the pellets that I've been shooting here, which I will show y'all those. Is the FX, and it's FX 44.8 grains. Shoots really well in here, and the knockouts actually shoot really well in here with this particular tune. We may have to adjust our tune a little bit once we get these regulators installed, but what we want to go ahead and do is install those, and our ultimate goal is to eliminate any of the issues we had before with the stock FX regulators. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's go ahead and set that aside. Let's go ahead and get this camera spun around. I want to shout out to Huma Air. Thank you so much for making this video possible today. Thank you for the products you sent us. Also, guys, I'm going to post some links in the video. We have their quick detach moderation system with one of the moderators. I'll leave a link to that. It'll show you the moderator and this quick detach system. So I know a lot of you guys are probably going to ask in the comments, what's that on the end of your barrel? This is their quick detach system. Super cool. Go check that out as well. That is another video that we already got out. But for today, let's go ahead and get this spun around. Let's go ahead and get this installed. Let's get this gun shooting the best that it can absolutely shoot. So let's go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First thing you want to do is degas your gun. Go ahead, first thing you want to do is go ahead and screw your air tank. I already have degassed this gun, and I'm going to show you the process that you can go about degassing. Go ahead and take this bottle off. Set it to the side. And to finish degassing your gun, you can actually unscrew your gauge a quarter turn and let it bleed out. Also, you can cock and shoot this and degas this that way as well. Just make sure that all your gauges are reading 0 and there's no pressure left before you start this process. We're going to go ahead and you can actually use a socket on this and take this first regulator out. However, Huma Air recommends taking your trigger guard off, so we're going to do it the way Huma Air specifies to do this job. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and take our dust cover off our fill valve. Set that to the side, and you can just use a 2.5 mil to go ahead and take the 4 screws out of your trigger guard, which are these 4 right here. Simple and straightforward, guys. Really, really simple. Guys, I am going to leave a link to Huma Air, and that way you can go check out all the products. If you go check out some other videos, I have a video on the Huma Air going into a Benjamin Aquila. So normally non-regulated gun, I do have a regulated Benjamin Aquila. The Huma Air regulator in there works fantastic. They carry regulators for all different types of PCPR rifles. So even if you don't have an FX, go check them out. Likely you do have a FX, or you wouldn't be watching this most likely. So this is what we look like after we have this trigger guard off. Just set it to the side, get it out of the way. This is just going to give you easier access to this valve. At this point, you can do one or two things. You can use a 23 mil socket and back this off, or you can use a spanner wrench and also back this off. Now this can be a little bit tight, so just know that it may be a little tough to get off. I'm going to go ahead, I'm just showing you the different types ways you can loosen this. What you can also do, you can also put this top rail in a padded vise upside down to help you hold the gun in place. That way it'll be a little bit easier to get a socket and ratchet on here and break this loose, which I've already broke this loose. So it was just a little bit snug. And once you have it broke loose, it's as simple as backing this first stage regulator out of here. Now I do recommend you keep your first stage regulator, that way if you ever need to put anything back, you can. And this is a look at what that first stage reg looks like. I do want to look in here always and make sure that there's no debris, nothing in here that's going to cause us any issues, and I do not see anything that's going to cause us any issues. Have some silicone oil or grease, that way you can lubricate the O-rings on the new regulator. So I'm going to show you the differences between these two regulators, and I'm going to show you how to adjust this regulator if you need to. Went ahead and put the Huma Air regulator sticker on here because this is going to be regulated by Huma Air. Again, there is a size difference in these two regulators, as you can see. Now your bottle's going to stick out slightly further because of this right here. So as you can see, these ends, that end here that screws into your bottle is identical, and then this side is what screws into your gun, and that looks the same there. This is made to a very, very, very high degree of tolerances and a lot better accuracy. Should result in more consistency, and with more consistency should lead us to have better accuracy in the end. Our standard deviations and our shot strings and everything should be a whole lot better installing this, especially once we get the second stage regulator also replaced, because it also is going to be to a higher degree of accuracy than the stock one. So we have this out. Like I say, save this, hang on to it in case you ever need it. Now those of y'all that do not know what the first stage regulator does, that actually acts as a buffer. You have all your high pressure air coming from your tank right here into your gun, and if you just had one single regulator, you have all that pressure going into just one regulator and then going into your valve and hammer system. With a two-stage system, that gives you the benefit of going ahead and knocking down your initial pressure to, in this instant, it will be 160 bar, and then from there, your second regulator is going to knock it down to 95. It's going to give better consistency. It's going to be easier on the valve and hammer system overall. It's going to be better on your entire pneumatic system having it set up this way. So FX has a great design, and I agree with them on everything that you do need two regulators. Now, some people will bypass their first regulator and just run their second stage. I highly discourage that. You're defeating the purpose of having a dual regulated system. So Huma has designed this first stage regulator to be a direct replacement for that first stage regulator and give you that higher degree of accuracy and consistency with this one part. It's very easy to install. It only takes a few minutes to install. It's going to take a little longer today because I'm trying to explain everything to you and how everything is done. Another benefit of this regulator is the recovery time is a lot faster than the stock regulator. So that is another benefit, especially if you're shooting a little bit faster. I believe that this first stage regulator is going to really help you out. In the end, this first stage regulator is going to put less fatigue and pressure on your second stage regulator. And that's our end goal here. Is that this regulator comes in two parts. Unlike this factory regulator, it is just one part here, just your regulator. Now this has your regulator itself, which is this stainless piece right here, and this will be kind of hand tightened when you get it, so you're gonna have to break it loose, and if you need a little help, just get you a spanner, put on here and just slightly turn it. It will pop loose. This black and steel portion right here is what's called your bottle adapter. And I'm going to show you the size difference between the actual regulator itself compared to the stock and Huma's precision made regulator. And there you have it. The overall build is a lot better, the tolerances are a lot better, and it's going to give you better shot consistency. The reason why this is made in two parts is this is where you're going to adjust your regulator at. So after you take this apart, it is going to become preset. Just take a look at your package, and on your package it's going to tell what the set regulated pressure is. This one is set to 160 bar. So we're going to leave that because our target goal on this gun for what we've been using so far has been 160 bar. Now if we need to adjust that, we certainly can adjust that, and it's as easy as taking a flat blade screwdriver and adjusting that set screw right there, that regulation screw. Now this regulator is capable of going to 110 to 210 bar, so it's got plenty of variation to get you any range that you're going to need for your project. It doesn't matter what caliber you're using, this regulator is going to work for it. Now this regulator, like I say, is set at 160 bar. We are not going to adjust this, but I am going to show you the process of adjusting this. If you do determine that you need to adjust this, it's really simple. All you need to do is take a flat screwdriver like this, and you will turn it counterclockwise. So if you turn this at approximately a 5-minute counterclockwise turn, that is going to give you approximately 4 to 5 bars of pressure increase. A half a turn is going to give you approximately 30 bars of increase. So just keep that in mind. So if you just turn it a 5-minute turn, you're going to get that 4 to 5 bar increase. Again, half a turn, approximately 30 bars. So if you do need to adjust it, that's where you're going to adjust it at. This is set where we need to have it, so pretty simple. Let's go ahead and install this. I'm going to take some silicone grease. It does have 3 O-rings. This part right here is going to be facing your gun. It is going to go in that orientation. So what we need to do is apply some silicone oil or grease, just a light coating right here on this O-ring and on this O-ring. Turn it around, and on this side here I would apply some on this O-ring, and you have one more O-ring, and this is where the bottle adapter is, and I will apply just a light coat right there on that O-ring. Really simple. takes a very minimal amount. I'm going to use the super lube, spread it around. If you do not have the proper silicone grease or oil, you should be able to pick some up at your local hardware store. If not, you can order it online. And it's always good to have. If you're into pneumatics, you need to have some silicone grease or silicone oil or both on hand on your workbench. So we got a light coat on these 3 rings. I'm going to set this to the side, and we'll put a light coat on this O-ring. Alright, this is our last O-ring. And it's as simple as that. Alright, reassembly, very straightforward. Again, look at both these sides. It's recommended to go ahead and install this without your bottle adapter on. So let's set that to the side. Make sure you're oriented correctly. It will only go in one way. And we'll install this. Now we'll pressure this gun up after we get everything installed, and we'll see what the reading is right here. If we do need to do adjustments, we'll take everything back off. We will adjust the regulator like I showed you. We'll repressure it up until we hit the desired pressure reading. This should be pretty close because it is set from the factory. Now take care when you're using your spanner wrenches. Just make sure that you don't scratch up your gun. Let's move the factory regulator out of the way. Now make sure that you do get this tight. You don't want to over torque anything where you tear anything up, but just make sure you have everything snug. We've already applied a light coat of grease on this O-ring. We can put the bottle adapter on at this point. And you can use a 24 millimeter on this bottle adapter or a spanner, or we can use this socket and ratchet as well. Make sure everything's snug. Place your gun down. I'm not going to put the trigger guard back on at this point. We'd normally put the trigger guard back on. However, we have a second stage regulator we are going to do in the second video. So we're going to go ahead and leave this off. At this point, you normally go ahead and insert your 4 screws, screw your bottle on, and you'll be done. But let's go ahead and screw the bottle on. Let's see how close that we are to 160 bar. Now this tank is not full, but it does have more than 160 bar in it. Let's see where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and cock this back. 170, and we're right at 160 bar. We're going to leave this right where it's at. I believe this is going to be just fine for us. This is almost dead on where we were before. Now, as you can see, it does extend out your bottle just slightly. So keep that in mind. It will extend your bottle out. However, that is not a problem. It's not a huge difference. Yes, it did extend it out just slightly. Normally your bottle would stop here. It's come out just a little bit further. It still looks really good. Everything is very, very stable, very rigid, and it's great. So again, guys, that's how you install your first stage regulator. It's very simple, very straightforward. Highly, highly recommend that you contact Huma Air if you got a FX Impact M3, and definitely recommend getting this upgrade. We're going to do lots of testing with this, but this should eliminate any of the excessive regulator creep we've had before, and it should actually have faster recovery times between shots and everything else. Hopefully we're going to get better accuracy. Our pellet speed should be more consistent, and I think that this is going to be very, very, very beneficial in our pursuit of accuracy with this gun. So guys, that's all I've got for you today on this particular episode. That's an easy, straightforward install. The next video that will be coming out will be us installing the second stage regulator, and it's going to be pretty straightforward. We'll degas the gun and we'll go through the process of going ahead and installing this. So guys, once again, if you're subscribed, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It helps us out, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. And as always, God bless, and I'll catch you on the next episode.